Hi, welcome back to the Actual Red Pill channel. I will get right into it and continue stories journals of manifesting generator that I am myself according to Gene Keys and my life's purpose. So this is the journal I got in Los Cabos, Mexico, and this is the journal where I wrote random little things. And most importantly, this is the journal where I wrote the list of my ideal man. I literally have written here, mans viriatis, my man. So, I'm not gonna filter anything here. I'm just gonna be honest about how and what I wrote, and this is written in Latvian for all who want to read it. Varat lasīt latviski. You can take a screenshot and do your translations if you like, because this is the actual list, and I'm actually married to that man right now for 5 years now. So this is going to be a lesson on how to manifest properly, okay? And I will explain you why. Hold on. Cheers to your manifesting success, and cheers to your understanding of how universe works. All right? Remember, you gotta drink water when you're on this channel, or any other brew. So grab a glass of water, say a couple things of I love myself, or peace in the world, or have the best health of my life. Say anything you want, but put that intention in the brew you're drinking, and then drink it, and do it every day. Even when you're not watching my videos. It's just something you must do, because most of your inner fluids are water, and water stores information. So any information you put in your water and transfer to your body becomes you. Fact. So cheers to that. I'm not gonna talk about any beliefs on my channel because I don't believe in shit. I am the I know this or I don't. Don't mess around any beliefs with me, because the word belief contains the word lie within itself. English is my third language. I decode language differently. I consume language by scanning through information in front of me. Even when people speak, I listen to their intention, emotion, background feeling, current state of mind, etc. Okay? So that's that. Let's get to my list. And here, the first thing is written vegan. Vegan, raw food eater, fruitarian, who wants to do sports with me, who's following his heart and is self-sufficient. He inspires me, is gentle and masculine with sense of humor like myself. We laugh a lot and support each other. Ideal sex. He is into Tantra. He's interested in Tantra. He is not more than 8 years older than me. He has Rh negative blood type like myself. He is at least 182 centimeters tall and with broad shoulders, beautiful hands and lips, and he's excellent in the masculine department, and that's where I meant his genitals, because I am a highly sexual, highly hormonal woman. And that was extremely important for me to have the perfect lover, because I would not be willing to commit to myself to somebody who's not satisfying me sexually, because I'm a woman. All right, I'm a wild thing. So that's how it works. That's how it should be. And the next thing, he inspires me to be the best version of myself that's possible. I inspire him to be his higher self and his best version of himself. We are friends. We travel together, do and build. We learn from each other. He is rich enough for us to become richer together. Money is freedom, not a problem. So, linguistically, all this is written in Latvian. So, let me specify what things came true, how I came to write it, and what you should do differently to avoid my mistakes in this particular manifestation list. First of all, you have to be very, very detailed and very specific in what you want, like word by word, because that's exactly what you will get. And your brain does not really register, your brain doesn't register words like no and don't or enough. The brain doesn't have imagination. It registers things like you write them, okay? So I wrote vegan, raw food eater, fruitarian who wants to exercise together, right? So when I met Julio, hi baby, when I met my husband, he was actually a paleo diet eater, right? He was this semi-miserable man who walked with a bent back. He was boxing, he was eating chicken and buying beet salad in Whole Foods, and he would, you know, walk like that and drink wine in the evenings, and he was, you know, not in a good place in his life. So then we met, and he wanted to grib kopā sportot latviski. So he wanted to exercise with me, but I did not exactly write the schedule of our exercising. So to this day, he wants to exercise with me, but he is so busy at his work that most of the time we want to exercise together. We don't actually do it, you know? So you have to say, if you want to have a man who is an athlete and exercising with you together, you have to have this ideal image of how he looks like. And for me, I remember myself, I think in Bahamas, and I was looking at Frank Medrano and Antoniette Pacheco, if I'm not mistaken, his wife or girlfriend. And I saw that guy and I'm like, oh my God, that's how my relationship should be with my husband. So then I watched Tony Robbins, how he manifested his wife Sage. You can look up Tony Robbins' channel and look at that story all by yourself. I don't remember if it was Tony or Sage who manifested their respective partner, but this is the copy style manifestation from his teaching. Yes, so he follows his heart and is self-sufficient. That is true. He inspires me, sense of humor, like myself. And the thing is that I can have sarcastic sense of humor, so it can backfire that I manifested myself a husband with similar sense of humor, you know, quite dark sense of humor, because we have been through life through a lot in short period of time. So it's not that funny sometimes, you know. So when you write the part of sense of humor, specify, just write exactly, I want him to laugh at this and that. I want him to say this and that. Be specific, specific to the T, specific to tiny little details that you think might not be necessary, because they are necessary. So ideal sex, we got that down. He's interested in Tantra. Interestingly, and he hasn't really seen this list. Baby, have you seen this list if you're watching? I mean, he's seen it, but I haven't exactly translated it to him. So when we met, and I decided to take off to Europe because I thought he's not exactly who I thought he is when I met him. So I booked this yacht charter to go to Europe to work as a yacht stewardess for the summer and let him figure his stuff out by himself in Miami. So the day before I left, he comes to me, he visits me in my room where I stayed in Hollywood, and he brings me this book. He walked to me and he gives me this book, and it's the book called Sacred Sexuality, Introduction to Tantra. So he gives me this book and he tells me, I want to be your lover. And I was obviously all like, yes, I like this. I'm so excited. Let's do this. And, you know, I'll come back after a few months and then, you know, we'll live happily ever after. But the thing is that I did not write, you know, for how often we will practice tantric exercises, what's gonna go down, right? This list is so ridiculously short to describe your ideal mate, your life partner, that if I would have known that I need to write, you know, that if I would have known that I will actually receive everything I'm asking, that list would be, this whole journal would be specifically about Julio, my husband. It would be just with details, with measurements, with specific tonalities, and just with like how we resolve issues when we're fighting. Those things you have to specify. You have to think about all of it. You can't just say, oh, I want somebody to love me. I want somebody to take care of me. Like, somebody can love you online and take care of you in their astral projections and imagination and wanting to be with you. And, you know, if you allow just kind of your subconscious mind to take care of yourself instead of your conscious mind and conscious decision and manifestation, then you will get all kinds of random things. You're not gonna get what you actually want. You have to say it, you have to request it, you have to specify it, you have to put it in creation. So, my husband is my absolute fantasy man. He's the perfect man for me. He's my creation. He is my, it's like his explanation of parts of me. He is male part of my universe, because everything around me, everything in my life is just a reflection of me, you know? And same it is about you. And you are another expression of me too, you know? It's amazing how it works. My Christina holographic multiverse channel is highly suggested for all of you who want to understand the binary side of universe and how it works. My friend Christina has a whole channel. It's called Holographic Multiverse. Go check it out to understand what I'm talking about. And yeah, that's one of the places you can go learn. Also, Dan Winter's lectures on how human heart implosion works to, you know, to embrace your full potential of life, and how to touch proper things and proper materials to support your heart's creation and ability to manifest and be truly in touch with the source, with source within you, with source that you are a part of. Dan Winters is amazing. Yes, so when you're writing the part, all hormonal ladies, when you're writing the part of ideal sex, ideal lover, and tantric practitioner, and this sex guru you want to have in your life, in your bed, in your bedroom, and you want him to call you queen and worship you, and it is amazing. Pero you gotta write that schedule too. You gotta write, you know, how often you want to be together, how often you want him to see you, because otherwise you might end up like me and you marry this gorgeous, 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 godly man, and then he works 60 hours a week or he works 80 hours a week, and the part what I write, he is interested in Tantra. He is, yes, but he's not home, okay? So those are the little gaps you will see if you don't truly and fully put your whole brain to it and your whole heart to it, and literally spend time and write 5 pages on each subject of what you are, you know, looking to manifest. You have to put You have to put, you know, all the little nitty-gritty and the dirty and the good and everything. You can't just write like one sentence like I did and get it, you know, like half done. Obviously, it's easy for me to rewrite my history. It's like this Butterfly Effect movie series, which I loved when I was 15. My friend Evelyn showed them to me back in the day. So that movie is one of the inspirations for manifesting things too in your life. And it's really nothing special. It's nothing special, okay? It's not magic. It's common sense. It is you. It is your critical thinking. It is your willingness to embrace your willpower and actually talk about it with yourself first. To actually admit what you want is the first step to get it, okay? So, he has Viņam ir rezus negatīva asinsgrupa, like myself. He has arch negative blood type, like myself. So I did not specify that he has B arch negative blood type and that is his blood type. I did not write those words like that. I said he has arch negative blood type, like myself. So because I just half-assed this dream man of mine, he has Rh negative recessive gene from his Spanish grandfather with a long last name who lived and most likely came from Basque region in Spain. So my husband is O positive blood type, but he has Rh negative blood type in him as recessive gene from his grandfather. Okay, so if you want to meet somebody of your exact blood type, exactly write it like that. I want my husband to be my blood type and that be his, what is that? Not recessive, but the actual blood type, okay? You know what I'm saying. It's your manifestation, it's your story, it's your life. You do it as you actually got to do it, okay? Don't do it half-assed like I did because I was like, okay, Tony Robbins showed me like this little show page, so I'm just gonna do it the same way. Well, that's what I got. So I have what I have. Next thing, he is at least 182 centimeters tall. So the thing about my husband is and I write, he is at least 182 centimeters tall. And my husband always says, I'm 5'11", no, 5'10" and a half or 5'11" and a half. It's exactly that measurement, 182 centimeters. That is his exact height, okay? And the word I wrote, at least, the thing is that he always adds that half an inch. He says, I'm 5'10" and a half or 5'11" and a half. That's American measurement. I always forget it. But it's 182. That is his actual height. And since I wrote the word at least, that means with the wish that, you know, with a kind of implication that he could be taller or he would want to be taller or I would want him to be taller. So I manifested myself a husband who as an adult says, I'm 5'10" and a half or 5'11" and a half, right? To kind of to pay up for that word at least that I wrote in my list. You get me? You get me, right? So don't write the word at least because you're gonna manifest that, you know, that feeling of like, like it's not good enough. Or that, like the first thing my mom said when she saw Julio, she's like, he's so short, because her husband is literally 6'8" tall. Like, he's ridiculous. He's a troll. But Julio's gorgeous. And just so you know, ladies, going for taller men is not necessary because Navy SEALs, Army, police, look throughout all alpha male databases. The shortest men, like Navy SEALs commander called them the flippers, I think. They are the toughest, the roughest, the strongest, the sturdiest, the ones who will withstand everything, and they will win at the end. And another thing, aside of characteristics, the best sex is between people of matching height. So TMI, when he's inside of you in laying position like missionary, so your body's kind of level out. If it's somebody way taller and you're like a little girl, it's just not gonna, I don't want to say it's not gonna last, but it's not perfect. It's just not the best, you know. You have to be of similar height, so when you put the high heels on, you're still happy, and when he's inside of you, you're like, you know, you can kiss and you're happy too. Okay, so that's that. Be specific of the height and avoid emotional words like at least, would want to this, or no, specific. Okay, next. Yes, ideal. He inspires me to be the best me that I want to be. He does. But again, there's this thing that he's so busy that he believes in me. He trusts me. He loves me. He tries his best to help me carry through my businesses that I'm launching, like this one and this one, CBD industry, skincare industry, financial services industry, credit repair, and then, you know, random modeling things. And it's like, he inspires me, yes, but he is so busy. He is so royal and so freaking important for everybody else that I honestly don't get enough of him for myself. I just don't, because I manifested this godly man, and yes, he's God for everybody else. He has to, you know, be out there, serve the community, serve hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people. So I don't get enough of him, and I should have wrote here, I want to be with my husband 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, because that's what I want. Because I want to meet my godly man, to be with my godly man, not to just look at him on the news, on TV, or read about him in a newsletter, or watch him on Instagram, or be like, yes, you are so good, you know. No, I wanted him right here with me in this video, and, you know, I want to be with him. I want to be with you, baby. I love you. Yes, so be specific. I will repeat it again. Be specific, okay? Like, write times, what time you want him to wake up. Write how much water you want him to drink, or her. Like, be fucking specific, okay? Yes. When I met Julio, he was a little bit, he was looking like Frank Medrano at that point. He was skinny, he was walking like that, he was, you know, he was playing this, you know, this paleo diet, calisthenic kind of thing. And we had our first workout in a park, like kind of calisthenics workout, free workout too. But I was not being specific enough, so our workout dynamics is not exactly where I want it to be, you know? So I gotta work on another list, and I'll just do that, and then I will update you in another 6 months or so on what's our progress in this relationship, all right? So, and I inspire him to be his higher self. I did that, pero I could have written that I inspire him to be his higher self easily, without negativity, without burning his ego, which I have done, without hardships or scandals, which we have went through, you know? So I inspired him and say, I was not specific about the positivity of that inspiration. So there was some negativity, and I was sick, and I was in a hospital, and it was crazy. And then I was in Europe, gone for 2 months, taking care of my health. And he thought that I'm batshit crazy, and he came back to Miami, and he started painting. And then he painted us and our love for 2 months. He made his biggest beautiful painting he's done in his life, and I inspired him to be his higher self. I inspired him to, you know, stop using shower gel. Like, he hasn't showered with a gel in like 5 years. He is healthier. He straightened, he walked like this when he met me. Within 2 months, he straightened out like this. And now 5 years in, he's 10 pounds heavier. He has 10 more pounds muscle. he looks taller and wider and broader, and you know, he's grown into this stunning beast. And when I met him, he was a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. Now he's a black belt. And then when I met him, he was a sergeant, and now he's field commander, crisis control specialist, and just a fucking god. He is the man who avoided the last school shooting from being replicated in America. He is the man who figured out a case of that missing teen, and the man who caused national news and 600,000 kids to have a day off from school so they would not get that shot and dead, you know, because I taught my husband to breathe and consume information with his whole immune system. So when he was training Navy SEALs in Virginia, and somebody says something that he doesn't know, and he already knows it, and then the other people in his group ask him, how do you know that? Because he's activated, because his dragon DNA is roaring now, because his Regulus ascendant is just activated, because he is walking his glorious, you know, destined self, and he's just fully just peaking, and he is so gorgeous. He is so gorgeous. I'm like, it is amazing. So, but all that was manifested through fucking hardships, through burning his ego, through debt, through monetary, through money difficulties. He was a victim to IRS fraud and had to pay back $50,000 to freaking tax money. And then, you know, I'm not gonna get into finances because I don't want to talk about it. I just need to write a list to manifest some money for this family. Yes, because you gotta be specific, to the T specific. He manifested me with his stickers on his high school guitar. Let me see if I can find it. No, I can't find the guitar either. It's like I can't find any props for this video, but it's okay. Let me have my cafecito. This, by the way, is coffee from Honduras. The best coffee in the world comes from Honduras. So, you can buy organic, fair trade certified Honduran coffee in Aldi stores in America, or you can order it online. So that's what we drink. Yes, so I inspire my husband to be the best version of himself. Like now he is the man, you know, he will be 43 this summer. On 29th of July, he will turn 43 years old. And he just beat the whole SWAT team. The whole SWAT team. He beat every guy in the SWAT team in qualification tests, in physical qualification tests, you know? Normally that does not happen, that 43-year-old beats every 23-year-old, 25-year-old, 35-year-old, 40-year-old. It doesn't happen. But it happened. Why? Because we were fighting that day. He was so pissed off, he was so angry that he just like, he beat everybody. So I need to do some edits in my manifestation and work with our, you know, love and marriage being based on mutual annihilation of each other's egos, because you gotta know that cause of all evil in the world is human ego. And people who are Scorpios or Scorpio ascendant like myself understand, and I watched this video on Psycho Zodiac channel last night, and it was very, very to the point, explaining how Scorpios destroy the narcissism in the narcissist, and Scorpio can be the narcissist for the narcissist. So my husband, for example, he had natural affinity for narcissists, and there was a time when I thought that he's a narcissist because of certain behaviors he expressed. So I felt like, oh, I'm this codependent girl and he's the narcissist, and you know, this is this is verbal abuse and this is crazy. And then I realized that he had these behaviors because his ex was a narcissist and his mother was a narcissist. So for his early life, you know, he was triangulated by these narcissists. So when that happens to you, you naturally copy some of their behaviors. And you know, if this happens like from when you were born till you're 15, then you get with somebody who's a narcissist, then obviously you will learn, you know, you will learn to talk like them. You will learn to walk like them. You will learn to live like them. So yeah, I had to work with that. And me being the Scorpio ascendant and me being the Ophiuchus moon woman, Ophiuchus moon, and having 0 degrees Jupiter in my 8th house Cancer and having the 5 planets in my 3rd house in Capricorn, I am the god of communication, but not the communication like people expect. Hi, how are you? I don't talk like that. There is no bullshit around me. There is no, oh, I want to be like this, I want to look like this, I'm gonna, you know, I can't do that. I am here to freaking smash through bullshit and do it the shortcut way, do it the proper way. So I am with a man who can handle that, who called for that, who demanded that, who needed that help to push through his lower aspects of himself, be it sexuality, which I embraced, be it hobbies, which I embraced, be it the freedom, which I embraced, be it the fights that I responded to and embraced as well, and just took it all over me and took it all in and allowed him to express his rage, his anger, his dissatisfaction, his demands, and his, you know, imagination, everything. You have to, like, you will meet somebody who demands things from you and somebody who you compliment, because that is all you. So I learned from him to be responsible for my power, to be responsible for my ego, to be responsible for the things I want in life. And I became responsible for how I affect people. Because if you walk around the world with your ego high up in the sky and with your spirituality up here, like, I'm the sacred vegan girl and you are all shit, you are damaging people. You are violating their spiritual core by just being full of shit. That is not how you manifest, by being all gaga and praying to God, Jesus Christ. What is the prayer? Release me from sin or something? No, that's bullshit. That is complete bullshit. Lift the stone and you will find me. Split a piece of wood and I am there. That is God. You are God. I am God. Spirituality, the full expression of spirituality and source manifests in people like arch negative blood, because it is the source. It is the, you know, A negative blood type is from Adam, Amen. The leaders are the people with A blood type. People of the B blood type, like myself, B negative, are the people of Eve. The wild woman, the unfiltered, unapologetic, unique, perceived as selfish or rude, but we're the joker. We're the nature itself. We're the nature itself that supports the spirit. O's are the omegas and ABs are the holy grail. So that's how I feel about those things. And I don't believe, I fucking know. Okay? I know this shit, okay? Because that's my life, baby. That's my life. So, I love my husband to pieces. Sometimes literally. And it is amazing how we grow and advance through this demand for intense healing, intense, like, you know, we gotta be together. And we are yet to overcome the part where we are, you know, shackling each other's egos, and we gotta still enter that space of clean business, you know. But it is what it is. We are manifested in these human vessels for a purpose of helping the earth and helping humanity and just, you know, advancing our DNA from Homo sapiens to Homo sanctus, from brain to astral communication, from your mental state to your astral plane. That's where we're going in these next 7 years, from right now till 2027. That's what's up, baby. There's no questioning it. It's a fact. It's what's going on in your brain. That's why when somebody's depressed, as in a need for depressed, or experiencing moral injury, that is, you know, this false, you know, like, oh, you're so crazy because you don't want to go to a bullshit school, which with the whole pedagogy pyramid is backwards. I read this pyramid from my husband's journal right here from Professor, freaking martial arts professor, okay? That the whole education system is backwards. Like there's 95% lecturing and maybe 5% doing, when it should be the other way around. Like, kids learn by doing. Look up the Japanese outdoors kindergartens. Look up how kids run for 2 miles a day in outdoors freaking kindergarten with open floors, trees inside. It's all that the child needs for proper growth and affirmation of their full life potential, of activating that implosion in heart and creativity, like per teachings of Dan Winters. Look it up, do your research on it. It's like, we need outdoors, we need doing, but you see that? This is upside down. It should be 90% teaching others, 75% learn by doing, 50% discussion group, 30% demonstration, 20% audio and visuals, 10% reading, and 5% lecture. When in reality, it's upside down. And then a kid goes to school and he's like, I don't want to do this. And the kids start, you know, they don't have attention for it because it's fake. You have to force something fake. So you force upside down pyramid to people. Same applies to education system, healthcare system, and somebody I respect online called James, put a comment there, or I will, you know, I will tag his channel there in description box. James he is excellent at decoding language, since English is his first language. He's James from England, and like, he writes educational system, like cyst, you know, assist. It's not a system, it's a system. See what I'm saying? It's a cyst. So it's just a bunch of bullshit. It's backwards. And I've been to 7 schools, and I can tell you that the best school experience I had was in this private school called 99 White Horses in Latvia. And it was a group of kids taught all together in one class. From 2-year-old to 16-year-old, we were all in one class. My favorite class from that school was jewelry making. I created a bronze ring. It was, how was it called? Welding? It was amazing. You know, kids just putting stuff in, you know, making jewelry or playing instruments. Those were my favorite classes. It was amazing and it was life-changing. And to this day, I've traveled the globe, right? The globe or the flat earth, call it like you want. It's just a bunch of codes. I've traveled through all these codes within myself, within you, within the universe. And that is the school I remember. What I remember from regular secondary school, my proudest moment was not all the honor rolls and little medals and little stickers and little perfect grades and little times when my essays were read in front of the class. All that for most part was embarrassing, because putting me on a spot like somebody, ooh, so good, you're gonna go to this best university, you're gonna get scholarships, you're gonna be this, you know, you should be a teacher, you should be this girl, you should be that girl. Because I was the smartest kid in the school. I was just, you know, scoring bam, 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 bam. And when it got so embarrassing that I was always the first one, and I was always on top of the list of kids too, because I was Paula Adamsone. I was #1 kid to be called for everything, okay? So when I reached puberty, obviously what happened? Shit happened. I just started to rebel. I stopped doing homework when I never really did homework. I would just scribble something before the class and be like, be it what it is. And I started, you know, I was the most disrespectful kid towards the teachers, although I was the kid who would be left in front of the class to like teach history lesson for my classmates when they go out to drink a tea or something, right? And it was a small school of 150 kids, my first secondary school that I'm referring to right now. And there was this old woman, and her name was Anna Ludziniece, and she was the woman who made it's like everybody cry. She was the one who walked into class and looked like this, or when called, you know, all kids to this lineup, right, to like the school meeting. And she created this disgusting, fearful atmosphere for everybody, like this paramilitary feeling that kids are just, you know, like standing like this and they're shaking and they're upset. And I never had any respect for that shit. I did not have any, like, I, as a child at 7 years old, knew that this woman is fucked up, that this woman is betraying humanity and her service to community, that she is portraying as authority. That was so disrespectful towards me as the student in this school, because I grew expecting something else. I grew expecting to be taught. I grew expecting an apprenticeship, not this bullshit of, you know, she was just violent. She was violating just the very internal environment of little children. And there was this day, and everybody knew that she prefers boys over girls, and she was like, you know, like caressing the hair of the boys, and she was such a bitch towards the little girls. And I was like, you old bitch. And there was a day, I specifically remember that she told me, or somebody in the class, to get off the phone. It was the time when we started getting phones, so I was definitely like 12 years old already, maybe 11 years old. And to get off the phone, and we were writing a test, and I see this lady walks in front of the class, and she's on the phone, and I'm like, excuse me, can you get out the class with your phone? You bothering me to write my test now. She just looked at me, and she just said, okay, I will, and stepped out. Because I put her on a spot in front of the damn class, and I told her, you're not gonna have different rules than ourselves, because you're the teacher, and you better show a good example to us, you know? The whole class laughed, and since then, I feel like they were, you know, kids respected me more. Kids always knew that I'm like the, you know, I was the only vegetarian in the school. I was the only vegetarian in the school back then. So there were many things which I was the only one about. I was the only one Adamsone. I was the only one from the capital. I was the only one who wasn't from there. I was the only one who didn't go to kindergarten with all these kids. I was the only one who didn't go to kindergarten, period. Oh, there was so much. I was the only one that I was clearly the only fucking one who had the guts to stand up and say to the school principal woman, get out the class, because you're disrespecting my test right now. So I'm very proud of that to this day. It was like my favorite moment in school, because I was like, this is not happening. And I got so angry that she made this one little girl cry in the class. And it's like, I know, like when I looked at the kids, I knew that this girl is being beaten at home. I knew that this kid is being spoiled as a spoiled brat at home. I know that this girl does not have enough food. This kid does not have enough clothes. This kid wants money. This kid is sexually abused. This kid has been exposed to watching their parents have sex. And this kid, you know, is an indigo child that sees ghosts, and that's why he writes poetry. I specifically remember that kid too. Like, I see through people. I have always seen through people, and I will always see through people. That's why people will always look at me like, who's that bitch? You know, with like, what is it about her? She weird, or she rude, or she crazy, or she mental? Like, it's like it's more fear-based respect, not actual respect. It's more, I'm just gonna stay away from you because I don't know what the hell's going on with you, kind of thing, you know? Yes, that's why arch negatives are here to be pushed out of society and to experience full spectrum of human suffering, to then come online. Maybe that's what we're supposed to do, you know, start going on YouTube. And if you YouTube arch negative blood now, you will see just the download is happening. It's like 10 years ago, there was nothing. There was this arch negative Ning forum that I was on. And then one day, poof, it disappeared. There was this whole community, files and conversations, discussions, so many people. And one day it was just taken down without like any message saying just like, I don't want to upkeep this forum anymore. I did not buy it, just so you know. And then, you know, we started just popping on anyway. And I feel like this is like mainstream known now. And now there are these crazy ass channels who like, there are people who want to kill us. There are people who want to like imagine that they are the source and whatnot when they're not. And like there's all kinds of conversations and they're all, for most part, a bunch of bullshit. But we just gotta let them be, because you cannot fight creation itself. When somebody creates something based out of anger, they create more anger and more fighting. So you, if you're pissed off about something, sit down, record on your camera, and just talk about your ideas of creating. Talk about your ideas of, you know, just breathe life into your dreams. Like, make them happen in your brain, and know that if you are wishing for something, it already exists, just in parallel dimension. Like, I am a conscious channel. I'm a conscious, I'm just this conscious source player who lives in multiple dimensions at the same time. I have multiple identities, I have multiple names, I have multiple accounts and email addresses, and I speak 4 languages, and light language is the 5th, like, and I've done it my whole life. And when I started speaking English, my English teacher asked my mother where did she learn this, because I was writing an essay about America, and first of all, we were not taught about America yet, and we were not taught the words I used. And, you know, I barely watched any TV. There was this radio which was just, you know, translating as in playing English music. So I heard that sometimes. But anyway, just all this just proves that I always knew what I am here for. And this way of manifesting, like, you think you're manifesting, right? But you're not really. You are tuning in to what is meant for you. You can ground yourself in a specific dimension with a specific reality you feel drawn to and you want to experience. But everything, you know, it gets really interesting there, you know? Like Christina says, holographic multiverse, answer to everything is yes or no, because it's like you're born and you die at the same time, and everything happens simultaneously. So everything goes, you know, kind of to your choice of what you want to experience right now, what your soul wants to do right now, how your soul can serve the highest purpose here to the collective consciousness and humanity and the mutation from Homo sapiens to Homo sanctus, how you can help people the most, being where you are. And you gotta know that no matter how shitty you had it in life, no matter what you experienced in your early days from birth to your Saturn return at 28, 29, till your brain is fully developed at 28, right? Your first developing ages and stages of your life is always the best case scenario. So whatever happened to you, you gotta know you could have had it way worse. Like, I was taken to Siberia, honey. I lived in Siberia and we had our windows smashed out there. We experienced robberies. I was sleeping, you know, all dressed up in winter clothes without fucking windows for Christmas in Siberia. We had an axe thrown in our door by neighbor in Latvia for God knows what, you know, just demons coming on. And next morning we found like his clothes. Thankfully, a stray dog who just days prior that attack to our house was just walking towards us on a gravel road. And I remember my sister standing on the buckwheat field that she and my brother burned down one of those days there too. But she fetched that stray dog, and that stray dog took literally 5 hours to, you know, like you're standing outside of your door, you see the horizon, you see like as far as you can see on that gravel road, and this dog just keeps walking slowly, 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 within like 5 hours, until my sister just walked up to him and like put the rope on his neck and chained him to the dog house, because there was a dog house in that little house we lived. And so we had a dog, and that dog might have, you know, saved my mom's life or saved our property or saved my skin. Like, I don't know the full story. I'm just saying that that's what happens. When you are a source player, you have shit happening because people, all negativity clings to you because you are so pure. And it can be your whole family, or it can be things happening to your family or things happening to you physically. And it just, they just like, you know, they pounce you. It's like the witch hunt that has been happening for over 2,000 years. And then the Roman Empire burned people like me for 300 years. You think I'm not gonna come back? Of course I'm gonna come back and bite you in the ass and piss you off. That's why people of lower frequency and lower consciousness and just, I don't know, ape people who believe that they originated from chimpanzees, you know, those people can't it's like they see me and they're like, they don't like me. And I'm not here to be liked. I'm here to trigger. I'm here to push. I'm triggered to punch. I'm here to love and share. And you know, love is not all gaga. Love is doing the right things, and love is doing the, you know, the sharing and the caring and the being, you know, not being about the small talk and bullshit. Love is just, you know what love is, and you know that I am love, you know? Anyway, let's move on. We are friends. We travel, we do, we build. We do all that. I just wish I would have written the schedule of how often we do all that. And at the end, money is freedom, not problem. And this is the very, very important sentence. Nauda ir brīvība, nevis problēma. There's a mistake. There's a mistake in what? When you read money is problem, money is freedom, not problem. Remember, your brain does not register the negative words. So when I wrote this, my brain registered that what I want, money is freedom problem. Okay, so I manifested monetary issues and depth in my ideal husband, and that's, you know, we got married and he told me, baby, we're gonna have 3 rough years, and guess what? It turned into 5 rough years. And, you know, ongoing, but we're getting out of it, and I don't care at this point because I know that that's not what matters. Like, I do care, you know, I want to send my daughter to school if she wants to go. I want to put her in outdoors kindergarten classes, and it's $450 a month to take her to Wise Hearts. And you know, we still need money because we allowed money to have power, because we decided as humanity that that's the right way to go, when it wasn't, and it won't be long term. And after 2027, the whole money system is gonna just it's gonna go down, it's gonna go away, and humanity will return to bartership. Barter is when you trade things. That's what we are returning to, okay? Money's going bye-bye very soon, so don't worry about it. You feel free to invest in binary currencies and Bitcoin and all that good stuff, because all that is kind of where the future is. It's not in the paper dollars, because that's a bunch of bullshit. There's no gold to back all that up, you know. So don't write that money is freedom, not a problem. Don't write the word not, but, no, nonetheless. Don't write any of the no words in your manifestation story, because you will affirm them into your creation, in your reality, on the dimension you are residing at right now. I did that. And I am here to teach you from my mistakes. I will upload my chart. And yes, arch negatives, all these witchy girls, they're the people who, you know, manifest the first part of life with a bunch of bullshit, and then they teach from mistakes. That's what we do. And there are people who are not arch negatives. You can be arch positive, and you can learn from my mistakes. You don't have to just keep following your script because you are a manifestation of somebody who was an arch negative in previous life, and they left, you know, this copy of script, and that's your life now. So if you think you are experiencing awakening, which I have never spoken of, I have no awakening. I was born woke. I am the way I am my whole life, and I will die woke as fuck, I want it or not, because that is my purpose here on earth. Scorpio ascendant, of Fuchsia's moon, 0 degrees Jupiter, of quantum possibilities, 5 planets in 3rd house in Capricorn. Like, I can communicate between dimensions like this and that, you know. Dolores Cannon came to me in my dream once, and I've had contact with these angels, like the actual angels, the actual angels too. Like, I want to say 12 foot tall, grandiose, red-headed, massive wings, and just so bright white attire, like just so feathery and gracious, and holding this big papyrus of, I don't know what he was telling me, but he was telling me something, and it's like we were like into this train station. And I can tell when this is, you know, I experience other dimensions differently, because some are slower. Like sometimes I just literally walk outside and I can tell when I am in that certain different dimension when I look through my balcony, and when I see that cars are driving slower, and it's like everything's kind of the same but everything's a little different. And yeah, those angels, like, they're in my, it feels like they're with me right now. Yeah, my red-headed angel. And I think that's Michael. It might be Michael, because I had this thing with Michael. That's another video, okay? We've talked here for an hour. So if you want money, say money is freedom, and period. Don't write money is freedom, not problem, because then you will create a money problem, because your brain does not register the word no. It does not know about it. Nah. Okay. Look up Bruce Lipton for, you know, kind of how to change your life story. He's an amazing teacher. Look up Dr. Paul Canali. That is my trauma release specialist in Evolutionary Healing Institute of Miami, and he is the founder and developer of both Unified Theory and Unified Therapy, and I saw my own birth in one of his sessions. So that is a chiropractor slash acupuncturist slash somebody schooled in Japan who knows what the hell they're doing, and I think he should be world famous. That's why I mention him. Dr. Paul Canali, look up interviews with him and focus on, you know, getting out of this brain, because it's very useless and it is damaging to your life's purpose. Get out of here and get in here, like like that. Call for yourself. Find your voice, find your solar plexus, breathe through your solar plexus. If you want to train your breathing like we do, we swim underwater across the pool. We put our diving masks on and go underwater, and then you start feeling your solar plexus spasming, and that's how you kind of trigger a higher, just different oxygen composition in your body. I'm an advanced scuba diver, so I get to talk about that because my brain works faster underwater, so it works faster under pressure. So I'm talking a lot. I kind of left a lot of information. May this serve you because I love you. And I'll see you in another video. I hope you're gonna stick with me. The actual Red Pill channel. That's what I named it. Anyway, I love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Ciao.